Hello, my lovely spectators. Didi here. Welcome to my studio. So it has been a minute. Yes. And well, life has just been life in me. So and the status of my crafting space has been something to be desired. Maybe I'll insert some pictures here, but my mojo was a little bit low and down. But I've been watching people and seeing what's going on. And the other day, Miss Gail showed Joey Cardmaker's gift to her, which was the butterfly Emporium. And so I was, how do you say, oh my goodness, how beautiful this thing was. And then Candy at Candy's Crafty Creations was making her journal cover to get her Emporium, Butterfly Emporium started. So what do I have to do? Jump on that bandwagon, because I really like the idea of having the books with the ephemera. I'm still building a system because I don't really have a definitive place right now. So everything's kind of all over the place, which is another reason why the mojo was a little bit not flowing as much. But I downloaded it, so let me just show you. So Joey Cardmaker has created this lovely kit. Well, there's 3 kits here from his site. Then there will be an additional 4 coming out once a month. He hit 5K. So I'm familiar with Joey because he does do a make it takes at least once a month, and he also participates in the Piles of Paragraphs grungy tag challenge, which he has done some really lovely stuff. I really was enamored of his Sherlock Holmes one. So I went over to his page, watched him talk about the butterfly kit, and yes, I went into his Ko-fi and I downloaded. So I'm going to list all of that in the description box below so that you guys can go and check it out. And if you're not familiar with him, go give him a follow, because even though he hit 5K, still trying to build up his numbers, as we all are. So I'm still trying to get to the 500. We will see how that goes. Last time I looked, 480. Okay. But now I'm back. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do a little more consistency. I'm going to try to not let my place get to me and let my mojo go. So I'm going to work on this for a few videos, possibly. And then once a month, because he will be, well, not really. Once I create this, I just got to add to the butterfly. So you're going to see the whole setup. So the Butterfly Emporium is this society, I guess, that he's created a whole world around. So here's the cover. He's given the pockets, tabs, everything. He also has a butterfly video, so you can see how he creates it. It is intended to be, let me get a ruler. I printed it. It's a PDF, so there was no shifting of pages from being a JPEG or anything like that. This, from the red to the red, is 6 1/4. No, 6 1/8. My bad. So you're looking at 6 1/8 wide, so you have a little bit of give around there. And then from top to bottom, red to red, is 7 7/8. Okay, so everything is structured around this size. Now, if you're a techie, you could go in, you could change up things, you could make them bigger, smaller, you know, do your thing. Because even though Joey has done a beautiful job of setting up everything, pockets, tabs, like I said, he's given us the spine, a beautiful bookmark. He's even given us the template for doing the 5 signature template based upon this. So this spine is intended to be it's 3 1/16, so 3-inch spine basically. And we've got a vellum strip placement ruler, because he creates his using vellum as to make the pockets. And then there's a whole story behind what's going on here. So you have an inside cover. You've got the color system. So we're getting the first set, which is the warm set, with blush and amber colors, and then subsequently we'll be getting the fresh, which are yellows and fresh greens, calm, which are cool greens, teals, and blues, the jewel collection, which is deep purples and plum tones, and then the antique. So that'll be September, October, November, and December to round out the year. So you'll just pop on. I'm sure he'll do a video just saying when his thing is live in the what do you call it? The blah, blah, blah. It is Kofi. So the Emporium Society. I'm not going to read this. You should download it. I'm not going to read it to you, but it talks about the founders and the curators and all of that, and the collectors, etc. So he's got this nice little background going on here. You've got some pockets here for swatches. You can see how he sets up his journal. I'm gonna kind of set up my journal a little differently because I'm gonna use a pre-existing book that I have as part of my journal. This is so adorable. Membership card, so you can put your name, and then he has signed it, the keeper of the Emporium, Joey Cardmaker. So that is so cute. I know that Candy did on one of the backs. I didn't put anything on the backs as of yet. I don't know if I'm going to put maybe some coffee dye paper or something like that. I got to see what I'm going to put on there. It's on cardstock already. He has one thing of butterfly paper, which is for the background inside the cover. So there's that. You could print multiples of these, use them how you see fit. And then he has the layout of the pockets. So there are a number of different pockets here. Let's see, yeah. So there are different sizes. If you're going to do it, you have the sizes, exactly what you need. You can cut this out. You can add the vellum in there, fold it, all kinds of lovely stuff that you can do with this. Like I said, go check out how he does his pockets. I'm going to do my pockets a little different. And then he includes his term of use. So you can check that out. So you can use his butterflies, etc., in your other projects, except within reason, and you can read on that. So this is the creation of the journal, which I'm going to make the journal. There's also a second kit that's here, which is the collage papers. So they're going to be collage papers, I think, for each of the different color families. So it'll include the cover sheet, and then it'll include pieces of ephemera to decorate your journal, which is that's how I'm going to use it. I'm going to use that to decorate some of the journal. And then you have these sections here that are all together. I did do print borderless, and I'm able to do that on my printer. But lovely textures, nothing screaming at you, nice and bright. And I think I know how I'm going to use these in my particular layout. And then again, it's included in there. I just hit print, so I didn't even realize that I printed that sheet multiple times. And then here's the actual butterfly kit. So you will get a little specimen number Butterfly Emporium card collected, and it's really cutesy. You get the swatch page. Of course, when you print this out on whatever paper that you're going to use to print out the butterflies, you will see whether or not this is going to be true to color. So it's going to be true to color for the things that you make. Everybody's screen is going to show it a little bit different. So we have this beautiful cover piece right there for that part. And then you have the different tabs, warm, and then you have petal blush, rose magenta, petal blush, rose magenta. There's 2 of each. Collector's note, a nice pocket. You have what the warm is about. You've got the rest of the little pieces here. And then over here you have like a card about the warm, so you can do a little piece of ephemera. You can put a little this I think is the card that Candy made into her ID card. So she did something cutesy. She made herself Victorian, and she put it on the back and made like the ID specific to her. So I thought that was a really nice little touch that she did. She's still working on hers. So, and then all of these little pieces here. So everything will have to be eventually cut out. So we have the sheets. There are 2 sheets. So you have a variety of sizes. This is the warm petal blush. So this is one color that you're going to get. I printed it on cardstock, and I think Candy printed it on glossy paper, like photo paper. So hers have a little sheen. I was thinking of printing this on a number of different types of printouts. So like washi paper sticker. That'll give you a very subtle, what's it called, butterfly, or sticker paper, so that you can actually just, it'll be a sticker and it'll be clear. shiny, if you want, that'll be shiny. But if you want something that's not so shiny, you can do it on photo paper, so, or vinyl matte sticker paper. So there's a ton of options. This is my first go around. It's going to have them just be on cardstock, and then I can print them again on a different medium and add them to the journal. So we also have this strip here, which I think is very helpful because you could also use that to help signify where things are. You have the rose magenta, so you have 2 of these. Okay, so there's a lot of fussy cutting going on here. I think he says something like 1,000, a number bigger than 1,000. I don't know the exact number of butterflies. This is the scarlet velvet. So you have these, very nice, very nice. I'm just taking a quick little comparison here, and it's like, interesting. Why I'm saying interesting is because I know that sometimes we get kits that have multiple sizes and then all the butterflies are just repetitive, but I don't feel like this is. I feel like they're like all different. Yeah, I'm just looking at this and I'm getting that vibe, but hey, that's awesome. And even if it wasn't, it'd still be a beautiful collection. Here we have the autumn ember, so like an orangey yellow toned. So we're going through the basically going through the rainbow is what I feel is what's happening, of course, you know. So we have these, and then we have the peach blossom page, which is these guys over here. So this is nice, very pretty. I like the little hints of green on there. And then again, his terms of use. So these guys I will not be playing with just yet. I may be probably taking some of this off, right? But we're gonna see how far we can get with these guys into the journal that I'm going to be putting together. So I am going to need these pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. And I am going to need the pieces that will go in. I want the cover pieces for sure. Okay, so definitely that. And then all these pockets and other ephemeral pieces I will, you know, deal with later. I do not think I'll be using these. I'll show you my alternative. So yeah, so I will cut those up and add them into the journal. This I may need to use for my spine, etc. So let me just put all these to the side and let me show you the components and the changes that I want to do for me, specific to my journal. So I had this coloring book that I got at the thrift. I already took out all of the pages to utilize in my journals that I'm going to start selling, so that there's a beautiful coloring page in there as part of the, you know, the pieces that make up the different signatures. And I love the cover of it, and I did a really nice job taking it out. Like, I didn't crack the cover, but I'm gonna have to, because this is just not wide enough. Right now, my pockets, I'm gonna use these guys, which are from Target. And so they open up a certain way, and I'm going to need to do a little bit of adjusting, a little bit of zhuzhing, and when we get to that part, I will show you how I'm going to take care of that. So I'm not using vellum. Those are completely clear when you put them down. So I do want to take a moment to do like a comparison of the size, right? So obviously my journal is going to be much bigger. This journal will be perfect for 8.5 by 11, or an A4 size, which is what they have. What is it? 8/4 by 11.25, I think it is. So folding that in half, perfect. You're good. This, however, is a much bigger comparison. So what I want to do is I am going to cut this boy out, and I am going to mount it or do something in order to place it on top and still have some of this peek around it. Okay, I want to keep the black of the spine somehow, so we'll figure that out. And then the back, oopsie, sorry, it's out of practice. The back piece, of course, we will want to put here. So I also will need to matte a little bit more. So I'll lose a little bit more pink here because I don't want to keep this. I would have loved to have kept this somehow, but that's not going to work right now. So I'm going to matte this on to make the cover. So I need to adjust this. And then when I do the spine, I am going to include the spine piece on my my journal, and everything will be kind of trying to line up. So we will work that out. I will probably do a little bit of inking because I like that look, and just because when you cut into the white paper, we're going to see that white paper come through. So the first thing I need to do is kind of figure out, well, not figure out, I need to take off the actual spine from this one. So I'm going to take a ruler. Where's my ruler? I just had it. Let's take a ruler. Okay, it's stuck under here. Sorry. Take the ruler. Get up here really close because I'm looking for that cardboard that makes the book, right? Look at that. My nails able to just go right through that. It's just amazing. Okay, so I know that I want to cut right there. So we're going to go put that back up there. And I'm going to usually actually use this guy here. So let's finish follow through. Okay, and there we go. So we have our back. This looks fabulous. Okay, we're going to turn this around. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to take my ruler, push it up against here, kind of help my nail find that groove. Why not? It worked on the other side, right? So we're gonna do that. So that's nice there. And then we're going to almost cut ourselves because we're not rushing, but you know. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So here we have this cover. Let's look. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think I'm even going to look for little pieces once I'm done to kind of accent that. So this is going to be basura. Magical dawn. I mean, this is really cute. I might just throw them a scraps for now. But I need to find backing that's relatively this thick, so that I can do my spine. Now I do have a cardboard here that could be possible. Let me see how thick this bad boy is, comparatively speaking. Okay, it's a little more gush, right? It will bend this way easier because you see the ridges, right? But I think I could get away with putting this as the spine. So let's do that. Now the spine was 3 inches over there. I'm going to do a wider spine, being that I'm going to be using scrapbook paper, which is not as thin as copy paper or coffee dyed paper. So trying to think about 5 signatures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's a 1/2 inch, 3. You know what? Here's the other dilemma, guys. Because my inserts, because these bad boys are smaller, I kind of want the spine to have that option of being a little bit like smaller, if that makes sense. So let's see. Let's take a quick second to think about this. This is going to be, no, well, yeah, this is going to be there. So this is a relatively, let's see, where's my ruler? Keep losing the ruler. It's underneath your stuff. This guy is, how wide is this bad boy here? This one is about 8 1/8, right? And we said that this was 6 1/8. Okay. 8 1/8, 6 1/8, so that's 2 inches, so like 1 inch and 1 inch. Could I make the spine 5 inches? Is that going to be overkill? That might be overkill. Guys, what should I do? What should I do? You know what? I might not use the spine. I'm going to make it 4. Let me see. If I do 4, how am I going to put the signatures in? 4. I'm going to put it, there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think I'm going to do that just for the thickness of the scrapbook pages. Okay, so let's get down to 4. And I don't know if I'm going to put the plate on there, but we shall see what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay, here we go. We are cooking with gas. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there, scrapping scraps. And now I need to, oh, do you think that matters? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I also have another piece of fabric that I'm thinking of that I can possibly utilize. So what I want to do is I want to match up my edge in the back. Okay, and then I want to take a piece of paper, not a piece of paper, a pencil. Okay, so we're gonna take a pencil and we're just gonna go like that. That is where I need to cut to make this the height that I need. Okay, I'm gonna cut just shy. Oh no, I did it, it moved. I forgot to turn this over. Let's do this again. Retake. Okay, perfect. So now, oh, actually they could use this. So now what I want to do is I want to attach. Now, how am I doing the back? What am I doing to the back? Decisions, because I'm going to sew them in this time. So maybe I just want to cover it after the fact. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's put these 2 pieces together. Okay, unfortunately, gotta move some stuff, make some space for the stuff, and make sure that you're still in this area. I don't need this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is make sure that everything is facing the right way. That's our top, that's the spine, that's our top. Perfect. Okay, so let's take a look. See, here we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now you don't want to affix your side panels to your spine so tightly, so you want to leave a spacer so that way you have some space between them. Okay, so that's something that you would want to make sure of. Let's actually cut this down. Where's my trimmer? To let me see. Let me see. Maybe 1/4 of an inch. Hello, I need the trimmer. I don't want to take the things off, so we're gonna just, I'm looking at down here at my measurements because it's just more comfortable for me. So that's 1/4 of an inch right there. So I want to take that out as my spacer. Okay. And then I want to cut another one. That's 1/4 of an inch. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so I have my spacers. So what I'm going to do is I want to pop them right there, right? And pop it right here. It's a little, gotta get nice and tight and straight. Okay. I don't know, that might be a little too big. But before I do that, you know what I need to do? I want to mark my holes because I can't use Joey's template. So let's do that. So we said that this was 4 inches. Okay, so 4 inches. So I love this T-square because it's going to help me to do my lining up really easily. So 2 inches. So we're going to do 2 inches, which is here. And then we're going to do, let's see, 1/2 inch, 3/4. let's see, a half an inch between that. Yeah, I mean, it was beautifully spaced out before, so, but I do need 5 signatures. So let's see, we're gonna do this, and then here we're gonna have too much space, so this and an extra quarter, and then this and an extra quarter, and then this right here, and this right there. Okay, so between my signatures will be 3/4. 3/4. Yes, three quarters between each of my signatures, except for the first one, which will not be 3/4. So now that I have that, and I have this straight up T-square, I'm gonna line it up here, and it's gonna help me to just draw my lines down the entirety of this. Okay. This. Okay, now see, I don't like that. Something seems off. What is happening? I know I didn't draw the last one yet. Alright, so let's erase this one that was off a little bit, and it's this one that was off. Okay. Right. So now let's do the whole positions here. So this guy is about just over 10. So I'm going to do it at 5, and then I'm going to do it at 2 from the top, and then I'm going to do 2 from the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to use the T-square again to just kind of go like that. Like that, and then like this. Okay, and so we're gonna need holes punched through all of these. I'm gonna do that as well right now. Where is my all? Okay. Okay, we'll use the Tim Holtzy one. So right there, right there. Don't stab yourself like I almost did. Okay, now here's another little cheat that I'm gonna do, because I have this all punched and ready to go, but I am gonna need something for me to be able to transfer this onto the pages. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, put it right there in the corner, right? I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to outline this, right? Put this over here, make sure. Okay, this is going to be my top. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make the middle punches. Okay, so I have a hole here, a hole here, and a hole here from the top. So I don't need the other ones because I'm going to stick this into each signature in order to get the right top to bottom placement. So I'm not too stressed about that. So yeah, so let me clean up this T-square. I don't need it any longer. And because I don't really need this entire piece of paper, we're going to go to the edge. Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna do that over here. I'm just gonna fold this up. Perfect, look at that. Nice in the center for the most part. It's slightly off, but that's good, it's good. And then we're going to actually put the tea on the paper. So this is our top, right? And then we're going to take off that. So now I have my template for my signatures based off of this, okay? And then we are gonna cover the inside here, so I don't really care that that's visible right now. But there we go. All right, so now we're ready to actually assemble this book together, okay? So this is athletic tape from the Dollar Tree, and it is like a fabric tape. It almost feels like the spine of books that have black fabric on them. So I like to grab this whenever I'm in the dollar store. They have it in white, they have it in black. I like to grab, you know, whenever I see a roll or two, I try to grab them. Let's do it this way. You know what, let's do this. I think I need to do both of them over here. Now what I want to do is I want to have a decent space, and I also want to line up. So I don't know if you guys can see down here. Let's see if I can get you a better visage. You can see down here. So I want to try to use my board to kind of keep me straight, and I'm going to use the thickness. Instead of that 1/4, I'm going to use like half of that, because I'm going to use the thickness of the cardboard in order to kind of, you know. So having two pieces like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of Scotch tape, just a little piece, literally. We're going to make sure that the bottom is even over here and here. And I'm just going to put a little piece from here to here. Okay. And I want to put a little piece up here. And then I'm going to put a little piece over here. Okay. So I didn't like that piece where it was, so let's take that off. And okay, if you ever see this cutesy, oh, it's so cute, it's Eva, it sucks. It sucks so bad. Where's the beginning of my tape? It has beautiful, this cuts very, it feels very cut, whatever, it looks so cutesy, but it has no, let me just tell you, it's no bueno. I'll show you right now. If I could find the damn beginning of this, because I need it again. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, so normally you have like a little pivot that sticks in there. So yeah, this goes there. Okay, cool. Right? It's in there. But you can't hold this here because then it won't move. So you have to hold it in the, it's just awkward. Anyway, no me gusta. Anyway, so I'm going to take that out and put a little piece of tape right there. Okay, now you may think I want to move to the side, but no, I'm going to finish up this side. So what I'm going to do is I want to take a piece of my fabric-y tape. I'm going to see if I can get it where I can get it. Okay. And I'm going to cut a piece off. Okay. And then I'm going to try to keep it even. So since this is supposed to be spaced out and lined up, I'm going to use that first drawing line here. And I'm going to push this down onto that. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to leave that there for now, hanging off, because I don't want to turn it over or anything like that. I'm going to bring this bad boy over here. Do my spacers over here now. Okay, same spacers, same space. Okay, you just want to have some place for the bend to occur, and it needs to be like empty, you know. So again, we're going to make sure that everything is lined up on the bottom here, that looks good, that this is spaced out. Then we're going to take a couple more pieces of tape to get us going. Okay. Okay, right there. See what I'm saying? Look at that. I know, but I won't throw it out. I spend money on this. Isn't that what we do? We buy things and we won't throw them out because we spent money on them. But guess what? They're just costing us more money. They're just costing us mental currency because they don't work. Okay, this might be a little too long. I might have to adjust that when the other one comes. And then in the middle, we're going to do another little piece. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, I'm going to take that out. All right, so that spacing is being held. I'm going to do the same thing again. Grab another expanse of this. I don't want to waste too much because, you know, just because. All right. Again, I'm going to use that line over here on this and then get that down. Okay, so this is a little long over here, so I'm going to have to surgery that out. Okay, so we have that and that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to turn it over without shifting the spacing, and I want to put tape on the other side. Now, I didn't just automatically flow it over because I don't want the tape to be that far out over here. So I am going to need to that right there. So let's just cut that off right there. I'll cut this off over here. Okay. Oosh, got stuck on my finger. We're gonna cut this up here. Okay. And we're gonna cut up here. Now when I stand it up, I'm gonna, you know, really marry it to the top and stuff like that, if that makes sense. Sorry, I had to take a drink. So now what I want to do is I want to attach another piece of this, and I want it to line up with this. Just, I don't want to go too far into the design of what's already here. Here, not so much, but I still want to have the option of having a little bit more pink for the matting that I'm going to do. Okay, so we're going to, again, we can go a little bit longer. We can do this one and wrap it over because the inside is not the same. The inside is black and the spine inside is not any kind of a big deal. So what I want to do is I want to kind of come over here, just slightly over, okay, and not too much past the spine that was already there, you know. Perfect. Perfecto. Okay, and I'm gonna do this side the same thing. We're gonna again take another expanse of this, a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna get that. All right, and again we're gonna look at where this is, and we're going to just inch it over just ever so slightly. Hopefully I'm straight. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So we have our indent there. We have our indent here. I'm going to turn it over again. And this time around, I'm going to just flap it up. Right? And this one, I'm going to straighten out whatever I had to straighten out from when it got cut, because it did pull on it a little bit. And this one over here, I'm going to just, and then bring this down. Okay, let's see over here. It's there. Okay, and here I need to pull this a little that way, over, and here. Oops. I was a little too aggressive. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to be able to have our journal. You see how that works? So what I'm going to do is on that fold, I'm going to press down with my finger and get into that groove. You want to make that groove nice and set, you know, so that it's kind of, it's going to know what it's supposed to do. Okay, so the other side, this is the back side of it. That's your side of it. It's a little dusty over here. And here's your, so now this looks a little funky. I'm going to take care of that. Clean this up. So let me pull it up. I don't know if you can see that Right, it's a little funky. Let's just trim it off a little bit. Okay. Could a little bit more. Okay. I don't want to cut my, that looks okay. Let's stick the other side. There's a little bit, looks a little weird. Okay, let's cut a little bit off there. Nice. Let's turn it upside down. Let's take a look. Okay, that's not so bad. I'll take a little bit off. Okay. All right, there we go. So here we go. Here's my 5 inches, right? So I have my 5-inch spine. I'm gonna be covering this. I might actually just cover with some more of this. I don't know. It's not really wide enough, so I might have to have a few different layers, but I haven't decided on that yet. But I will, for argument's sake right now, just pop out these guys because they're not visible on the other side. So if I'm covering things up and then I have too many layers, I don't want to have to struggle later on. So I'm just doing that so we can kind of see them on the other side. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause you for a second because I need to go and get some of that other stuff from the kit cut so we can finalize the cover. And then we'll see how much further we can go from there. So just hold on for a moment. Okay, so I cut out and inked up pieces, not this is the spine, that I wanted to incorporate, well, not incorporate, to put onto my journal. And I did decide to go ahead and put 2 more pieces of that athletic tape. I think it looks just fine. And once we have stitched everything in, I do plan to put this right there, which I think will look lovely. So win-win. So this will be on there later, but this is what's going to happen. So I want to attach the front and the back and the 2 interior pockets, and possibly the back where the spine is going to be sewn into, to cover that mishmash of tape and whatever is there. I took out the 2 pockets, I cut them down, I folded the gussets. I used a 1-inch, it's not exactly perfect, but it's close enough to do the little divot. So these are for the interior. I use ground espresso, distressed archive ink. No, distress ink, not archive, sorry. Distress ink. I like my ground espresso, I like a little bit more of a brown color. So I did cut out the front and the back. So let's talk about what I want to do here. So I'm going to put this here low enough that it is going to cover that. Now, the gray that was there was a little bit too, what do you call it? Light. For my liking, and I didn't know if I needed to have it or not, or, well, didn't need. You do what you like, right? You know, if you want to have something, you do the way you want it. I didn't know if I wanted to keep the gray or not, and as I was looking at it, it was a little too light. Let me say it that way. That makes more sense. So right now, I just realized I didn't grab any black paper. Hold on a second. One more time. Okay, so I got the black paper. What I want to do is I want to put the black paper on here, and I want to like mat it a little bit. For the front, not too much of a mat, just a tiny little bit to help emphasize that situation right there. So I'm going to put this on the black paper with the glue stick. I thought I got rid of the little fuzzies from the cutting. If not, I will touch it up later. So let's grab a glue stick, or let's grab, you know what, let's do art. Let's do art glitter glue. I think we can get that done. So notice that there are 2 different colors. This is a deeper black to me, so I think we're going to use that. Put that on the side. And we're going to attach, oof, my little thing doesn't want to come out. Don't give me a hard time. Oh, it went on my skin. Oh boy, no. You know what? It's mad because I haven't been crafting for a minute, so he's upset. The bottle of glue is upset. Okay, so we're going to get as close to the edge as we possibly can. We want a nice seal on the edges and whatnot so that it doesn't lift up on the cover. Okay, good seal, good seal. Nice seal. Okay, turn this around a little bit. Okay. So, and then I'm just going to spread a little bit of the glue around the center. Doesn't have to be super. I was thinking of using the glue stick, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes it'll warp it. Even though this is cardstock, it's not, you know, like it's Amazon cardstock, which I pretty much like the way that it's been printing for me. So now what I want to do is I want to get this in the corner, looking at the margin that I'm leaving, that it matches here and here. Place it down. Okay, and then we're going to let that set up in place. Okay, and then I'll clean up these white spots with a little marker or something, or whatever. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. All right. So now, what I want to do is I want to trim this out from here, possibly the same margin, hopefully the same margin. All right, that's pretty cool. See, this guy's getting fuzzy, but that's all right. We will deal with the fuzz. All right, here we go. Perfect. So let's put this in my scraps. Now, I didn't do the back one yet because I want to put this one and then I'm going to tell you, then we're going to figure out the back one. And why I say figure it out is because the back one doesn't have anything that's pretty that I kind of want to keep. So, yeah, so let's see. Can I hit this, get rid of some of that white pieces that are sticking out? Sure. All right, and we'll just add a little bit more because we got a little heavy-handed, but that's okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Let's bring our cover back in. Okay, so we're talking about the front here. So what I want to do is I want to add this. I think adding that black was perfect. So I'm going to place it here. So I want to put glue like I did before, and right where it says Magical Dawn, I want to have this lined up so that it covers and shows as much of the pink as possible, and then keep it balanced. So that's what we're going to do for my cover. Okay, so let's see. We're going to put a bunch of glue again on the edges so that it could stay nice and flat and sealed to the cover. Okay. And then we're going to put some in the center like I did before. Keep falling off the edge. Let's get it up here. Okay. Now this is 110 cardstock, so it's just what I had, but hey, it's gonna work. Okay. Now we're gonna come up here. I'm gonna place that down. There's slightest bit of wiggle room because of the thickness of the glue, and we're going to look at it. Look at the bottom. Make sure that that feels straight. Okay, I'm also looking at the stars up here. That feels and looks good to me. So now I'm gonna apply the pressure that I need. Okay, cool. Cool. I think this worked out lovely. I don't like, this is a little bit curved here, but it's the tape and I didn't notice it before. Could possibly pull it. Let's see. Ooh. Maybe not. I might have to add a little trim if this is really annoying me, which potentially it is, but we shall see. Right now I'm going to leave it be, and let's go to the back. Oh, let's go inside first, because we do have this is, what we're going to do here is we're going to put one of the pockets. Now the pockets have butterflies, and one goes on, one is like one side and one is like the other side. And then I was thinking to take this piece, right, and put it here to kind of be where it stitches in, and I thought that that would be cute. But of course I need to cover the rest of this blackness with more tape. So I might have to do that, and we'll come back to this another time. Look, we're going to do the signatures because I want to show you what I'm going to do for the signatures. So let's just glue these pockets in place. Okay, so he has put gussets in there so that way there's a little bit of room for all of the stuff. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be in the back there, but you know what? I'm going to put it on the back for balance. And if I need more, I'll print more. Okay, so we're just going to come off and give ourselves a little border from the black that's already in here. So this book having such a beautiful black interior was like perfect as well, I think, for me. Okay, so now we have that bad boy in there. We're going to do the other side as well. Okay, so once we deal with the back, I think we're going to call the video done because then the cover will be completed. I'm going to make another video where I do this interior part and we'll set up the signatures. Okay, and then maybe a third one with actually putting in the butterflies and then also decorating a little bit of the signature pages, possibly. So we're putting the signature pages together. So we'll see how much we can do in one video. Okay, so this is nice. All right, so now we have our two pockets inside. Let's talk about the back. So I want to put the back here. If I put a little bit, it's not going to be enough. I do not like this. So we're going to take a piece of papel. Okay, and we're going to see, let me close this bad boy because he was mad at me already. Oh no, I lost the pen. Where'd the pen go? Oh no, don't start, please. Oh no, here it is. See, it's like, oh, I'm gonna hide. No. No, the little balls came off of it. I gotta redo this. Anywho, for now. So what I want to do is I want to look and see. So I want to cover this. I'm going to base it off of this, right? And I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to approximate how much of a distance I need from here. Okay, so somewhere around there. And then the same thing over here on the top. And we're going to hope that we get to cover the entire back. So that it doesn't have anything kooky. Okay, so somewhere around here. Okay, so let's cut this down. Okay, let's take out the trimmer. And we're gonna go up from here. So my mark was here. I'm down here, guys, because I don't want to rearrange everything. And then I'm gonna turn it this way, look for my mark. Okay, and we're just going to hope that this is going to do what we wanted it to do, which is to cover. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I hit you guys in the face with the trimmer. Take off the fuzzies as much as we can. All right, and let's see how this is going to look. Perfect. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. So this one, I'm going to... let's attach this guy here. So we're going to try to center this here, right? Okay. All right. I'm thinking, and I know his name is on here anyway, but I'm thinking, do I want to put something like this? I would love to have something with his name, I think. So I'm going to do this a little top heavy so that I could add something. I'll find something, or I'll type up something. I don't know. We shall see. Even though his name's on a few other things that are in there, I still want to add it on the outside. I think that would be a nice little touch for me. Okay. So let's do the same thing. We're going to glue the edge nice and tight to the edge a lot. So a thickish bead, that way we have a little bit of the slightest bit of wiggle room, right? So if you do a real thin layer, it's usually and you're done. A little bit of a thicker layer, you have slight wiggle room. So you don't press it down right away. So let's put some in the center. Okay. So since I'm down here, I'm gonna go over here, and it's upside down because I want the space to be there. So I kind of want to guesstimate where I need this to be, and then hopes that I got it straight. I think it looks goodish to me, so I'm happy with it. Okay, so we're gonna do this, get rid of this adhesive. We still have some of those fluffies, so we'll do the same thing. We'll go hit the fluffies and hit a little bit of the edges, okay, and stuff. Right. Yes. So I know Joey's name is around on the digital, so I will find something to put in the back that I want to have there. All right, so now this is going to be what my back will look like. So I'm going to line it up right there. I think that's awesome. It's lovely. And then we'll be done for today. And I can cut out the rest of the pieces of ephemera, set up for the next video. And then we'll talk about the signatures, what I plan to do for my signatures. I do want to incorporate the collage pages and all of the pieces of ephemera and stuff. But again, my pages need to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to be using scrapbook size paper, 12 by 12. This book is 10 inches tall. So I'm going to cut it down, of course, to 10 inches. And then we'll deal with the 12 inches and how we're going to deal with that not being, what do you call it? A full, just fold in the middle. We're going to have a situation, if I say so myself. So, oh, inside. Inside, Leanie, inside. Anyway, so guys, I have missed crafting. I'm so sorry. There have been a few people that have reached out and have said, you know, you okay? And I've appreciated that so much. It's been so nice to feel missed. Not that I did it intentionally. It's just life is lifing me with a lot of different things going on. And the mojo was, like I said, less than happening. So, but now this has sparked me and my journal making. And like I said, I'm going to be trying to put some stuff to sell and all that good stuff. But this right now, this is for me. And I, oopsie, think it's coming out beautiful. So here's our cover. Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. I can't go back that much. Where do I think I am? This is our cover. So we have the butterfly Emporium on this pink one with this gold, and there's like, this is gold tone, so I thought it would fit well. The butterfly is the first one being blush. I thought it was perfect. When I saw his kit, I knew I had this cover laying around. Here's the back covering everything, adding this little space for his name, which I'm going to find one of the signatures. I think there's something in one of the kits. I'm going to add it here because even though it's in the some of the ephemera, I do want to have it over here. I think that would be a nice thing. These two pockets are ready to go for the ephemera, and I just need to cover up a little bit more of this so that we can get to doing the interior. So the interior will be the next video. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching. Sorry that I was gone for so long, and you know, and I'm gonna try to not let that happen. Yeah, I will be back soon, probably tomorrow, with the next video of this, and just get that mojo flowing for the rest of the summer. I know my twin cheese were a thing, and I still have my book, and it's been sitting there, and I think part of that is, well, if you saw the pictures, I can't find anything. So this is why the twin cheese kind of stalled, as well as just things that were happening in life. So if you're new, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to make it to 500. If you've been here and you've come back because you've missed me, thank you so much. I've missed you guys as well. And in all cases, please comment, please like the video, please share the video, and also check out Joey if you haven't. There's no way that you know me, you don't know Joey, but his information is down below. So until the next time, ciao ciao, bye.